Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Autism Education Series, Early Conversations about AAC and Autism. My name is Kelsey Davis,
I'm Erin Woodbury.
speech language pathologist at Hearing Speech Nova Scotia. We've created this presentation in partnership with Sarah Boyne, Catherine Francis, and Emily Goulet, speech language pathologists. Before we begin, I'd like to start by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kmaq territory, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and acknowledge them as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. As healthcare providers and community members, we're grateful to work and build community here on this land. Did you know that communication is a basic human right? Everyone deserves to be able to participate in interactions and has the fundamental right to request, refuse, make comments, share opinions, ask for information, and be spoken to and not about. We presume confidence and assume everyone can learn to communicate. By building communication skills, we can support learning, improve confidence, well being, and reduce frustration. We all use different tools to communicate, and we can think about how we express ourselves like a toolbox full of different options depending on the communication task at hand. We use different tools for different environments. So, for example, in a loud room, you might use a gesture to get someone's attention instead of calling their name. We also use different tools for different communication partners. For example, you might use social media to communicate with friends and family, but email to communicate with an employer or a healthcare provider. Children are the same. They'll use different tools depending on where they are and who they're communicating with. For example, at home, your child might lead you to the fridge to ask for a snack, but at school, they might use a picture symbol or a communication device to communicate with their friends or teacher. When we're supporting children with learning to communicate, it's important to remember that there are many ways that they can successfully share their message.
So what is AAC? AAC stands for Augmentative and/or Alternative Communication, and it is any form of communication other than spoken language. It includes gestures, body language, facial expressions, writing or typing, pictures, or signs. These are examples of options in a communication toolbox that someone can use to support their ability to send a message to another person. The person using AAC may also use spoken language. Remember, we all use many tools to communicate, not just speech. There are many common concerns or misconceptions about AAC. Caregivers often voice that they worry AAC will stop their child from talking. It won't. In fact, research has shown that use of AAC can actually support a person's ability to use spoken language. Another concern is that a child might be too young to use AAC. People of all ages can benefit from the use of other communication tools. Many caregivers are also concerned that AAC will be expensive. There are many options of communication tools available that range from free to those that cost money. AAC can be pictures of real people, places, or things. They can be pictures found on the internet, or they can be three-dimensional objects.
Here we have an example of the picture exchange communication system known as PECS. And in this particular low tech option, kids learn to exchange a picture to send a message. Another example is in this picture is a communication app on an iPad. This particular app is called Touch Chat, but there are many different options to choose from depending on what the best fit is. When we're using communication apps and iPads, we often lock them into the iPad to make them dedicated communication devices. Some children may have mobility or access challenges, and we can make adaptations to support that. Here we have a child who's using switches to help access his device. And here we have a child who's using eye gaze to access their device. Who uses AAC? Children and adults can both use AAC. Some kids will grow up to find that using AAC is easiest for them and use it most of the time. Some kids will find that it's easier to use a combination of AAC and spoken language, and some will use spoken words all or most of the time. AAC can be helpful for children with no spoken language and also for children with some spoken language. So you may have a child who can sing lots of different songs. They know all the words to Old MacDonald Had a Farm, or they know lines from their favorite shows or movie, but they have a harder time asking for a drink or a snack or asking to play with a friend. AAC can also be helpful for children who need a little help being understood by others. So you might have a child that makes a sound at home that you know means apple, but they might use their AAC at school to ask for an apple because their teacher may not understand.
So why use AAC? Well, there are many reasons why we communicate. Everyone has a right to be able to comment or to express an opinion. Everyone has a right to ask for what they want, who they want, where they want to go, and what they want to do. They have a right to share how they feel and to make choices and to be an active member of the community. All people also have a right to be able to say no, refuse, or to protest. AAC are the tools that allow for this communication to be possible for many people. Are you considering AAC for your family or your child? You might be wondering where to start. Some questions caregivers often have are, when should I start AAC? Your child does not need to have a specific set of skills to begin using AAC, and it is actually often the first approach taken to support communication. Maybe you're wondering what type of AAC to try. AAC can be personalized for each child and family, and it can change. You might decide to try a paper-based system, or you might decide that an iPad with an application is the right choice for now. You might consider different options based on the language or languages that you use at home. You may also be wondering about how you're going to teach your child to use AAC. There are many different teaching approaches, and it will be important to consider how your child learns best and what approach fits best into your lifestyle. One size does not fit all. There are many options, and part of the journey is finding the option that fits your child and your family's strengths and needs. When considering AAC, it's important that you're making the choices that are a good fit for your family. You do know your child best. Decisions around AAC intervention are based on family goals, learning styles, and evidence-informed practices. Some final thoughts: your team can help you. They can help you to explore different types of AAC and navigate funding options if it's required. And your team will work with you and your family on how to teach your child to use it based on your individual goals and learning styles. Your team will understand and respect that your child is unique, and so is your journey. Thank you for watching today. We hope this has been a helpful learning tool for you. The information in this video is not meant to replace individualized medical assessment or treatment. And if you do have concerns about your child, please consult your doctor, your nurse practitioner, or your autism treatment team. Please know that your journey with AAC can be supported by trained clinicians in real life scenarios within the autism team. Thank you.